In this video, we're going to be creating a saved search or report. One of the most valuable skills we can develop as an Infusionsoft user is knowing how to properly search for and display meaningful data. There are two ways we can search through the database. We can do a direct query on the different tables, contacts, opportunities, orders, and so on, or we can use the built-in reports that come out of the box. The good news is that no matter which method we use, the process to search, display, and save such data is the same. Hence, while this video will demonstrate a specific search example, we can extend these ideas to any data inquiry. So in this video, we're going to look at performing an inquiry, choosing the data we want to show, and then how to save those results so we can quickly use it in the future. So specifically, we're going to search for a group of contacts with the specific tag and then save it for quick access in the future. So we're going to start by hovering over the main navigation, and in the CRM column, go to Contacts. And if a search is already displaying, you're going to want to click New Search. So this is where we set up what we want to search for in this particular record. So this is contacts we're searching for. So we can look for pretty much any piece of data that's on the record. Names, emails, any of the other data, addresses, custom fields, things like that. I'd also recommend looking at missed criteria. There's a bunch of cool stuff under there that you can do. In this case, we're looking for people with the particular tag here. So we're looking for people with the newsletter tag. So now this is the only filter criteria that we're going to search the database for, people with this tag. So before we do our search, we're going to go up to columns here. And the custom columns box on the left-hand side is the data that will be displayed upon performing the search. So to show more data, select what you want to see in the box on the right-hand side and then click this arrow between the boxes. So for example, maybe I do not care about the company name or the email, but I want to see their name and I also want to see the phone number. Now that I've selected the data that I want to display, I can go ahead and click on Search. So this is going to display the results for the criteria that we selected. So assuming this is what we want, in the buttons above the search results, click on Save. This will open a pop-up window. And then we want to give this a meaningful name. So let's call this Newsletter Subscribers. And then click the green Save button. So now the next time you want to access this saved search, whenever you're viewing contacts, in the upper right, you can select it from the saved searches. So the search filter criteria and the data fields selected make up a saved search or report. From here, we can use this saved search to customize our dashboard, send automated emails to a user with the search results, or run mass actions. So it's important to be aware that the word report is sometimes a misnomer when searching for data inside Infusionsoft. The list of contacts we generated in this recipe, or this video, could colloquially be referred to as a newsletter subscribers report, but in actuality, it's just a straight database query. Reports, formally, are ways to manipulate the data, such as an opportunity stage move conversion percentage, or to access data that isn't a standard record type, such as campaign performance. It's an important skill for an Infusionsoft user to know when to do a search and when to do a formal report. For example, if we wanted to find a report of all the sales opportunities that were overdue, we would simply do an opportunity search with the next action date criteria for dates in the past. Now we can raise a direct query on these record types here. So contacts, companies, opportunities, referral partners, and order records. We can also perform a search on email broadcasts. So when we click on any item in the marketing menu, when we hover over emails and broadcasts, you can see View Email Broadcasts. You can also perform a search on subscriptions. By clicking any option in the e-commerce menu and then hovering over orders, and we can now search for subscription records. The different reports for the various sections of Infusionsoft can be accessed by hovering over the main navigation menu and then clicking on Reports in the footer of each section. Searching and saving these reports functions in the exact same way as doing a direct database query. I'd highly recommend spending some time becoming familiar with the different reports available in the different sections. A couple last-minute thoughts here. So when we are selecting the data fields to display, we can control the order that they display by using the arrows to the left or the right. We can also choose our sorting as well from this drop down here. So if we wanted to sort by email, we can do that. We can even do a secondary sort for larger lists. Also, after a search has been performed, you can sort by the data headers themselves. So click over to grid mode, and then you can click, in most cases, on the piece of data and sort by that. When you go ahead and save the search or report, it'll store this sorting. Remember, certain data types may not have this sorting functionality, and you'll hit those on a case-by-case basis. But generally, you can sort the data easily. Now, if we have a search that we plan to access often, after saving it, using this Options dropdown, we can add this to our favorites. Clicking this option is going to open up a pop-up window where we can figure how it's going to be displayed in our menu. So for example, if I want to make a newsletters category for the different links that I want, I can go ahead and have it open in this window. And I can even have this link be created for every user if I want. For right now, I'm just going to do it for me and click Save. So now, I'll be able to quickly access it from the favorites over here. Let me reset the page, refresh the page. So there goes my newsletter links. And so now from anywhere in the software, I can quickly and easily go to the newsletter subscriber search. And remember, you have this functionality with any save search or report. Now by default, any saved searches or reports can only be seen by the user that created them. However, there is a share unshare option that will allow us to share what we create with other users. In this example, I'm the only user, but we could select multiples and then share it with them. When you do that, they'll also be able to access it from this drop-down. This is particularly helpful when configuring reports for sales reps and other frontline people. This can help them get their dashboards and important things to pay attention to set up faster than if they were to do it on their own. Now, after performing a search or a report, depending on the record type being queried, we'll have a list of actions that can be performed on a group of records. Again, I'd highly recommend that you become familiar with the different actions available for the different record types. So for example, when we search a contact record, here's all the different actions that are available. We can do mass updates, we can start campaigns, opt in, opt out, export them. We can even create other types of records here. These options change if we're doing an opportunity search. So in this case, we can now do a mass update of the contacts or the opportunities, as well as reassigns and adding people to sequences. There's also a couple other options when you're looking at referral partners. You can also do things specific to referral partner ledgers. And when you're looking at orders, you also have the ability to manage invoices in bulk and a couple other things that are specific to e-commerce. In the next video, we're going to look at adding custom statistics to your dashboard.